that you'll see in the starting lineups, but first the Louisiana starting five. Marquette's just a sophomore, but Washington and Bartley are seniors, Gant and Stroman juniors. And then for UT Arlington, if you're a Maverick fan, a fairly familiar starting five with Neal and Hervey leading the way. Hawkins and Hamilton also in with Wilson and Hamilton. A 7-footer is in the jump circle facing Jakeenan Gant, and it's UTA that wins the opening tap and has possession first. Neal at the point. Hervey with a three. No good. And Gant pulls down the rebound. Stroman runs the point for the Ragin' Cajuns. Kind of got the throwback jersey with the red and the checkered stripes.
Looks good.
Thrown away out of bounds. Who touched it last? It'll belong to UTA.
Keith Kimball's a referee. Brent Dugay and Owen Short are our officials tonight.
Eric Neal averaging 8.5 assists per game. Tries to split two defenders. Throws it back out to Hawkins, who finds Wilson. Back to Neal. Bounce pass to Hervey. He hits the fall-away jumper that gives UTA a 2-0 lead.
Good job by Eric getting the penetration and dishing it off to Kevin for the little 12-footer.
Stroman trying to find Gant, but it's over his head and turned over to UTA. Going for a little showtime early tonight, are the Ragin' Cajuns.
You all like Scott Cross sticking with the starting lineup, not panicking, and trying to create unity, cohesiveness, and I like the point that these same five have been out here.
Neal from long distance. Can't get the three-pointer to go, but Hervey's got the rebound and the putback as the Mavericks go on top 4-0. Three-pointer on the way for Gant. That's no good. Wilson couldn't grab the rebound. Hervey touched it last. No. They say the man that touched it last was Bryce Washington, the senior from New Orleans. There's Bob Marlin. What I'm impressed with is of the 81 seniors that he's coached, 70 of them have graduated. He's also had, I think it's 8 players that have played in the NBA.
Yeah, I got to know Bobby very well when he was at Pensacola Junior College.
Gant drives in and scores for the Ragin' Cajuns as they put their first 2 points on the board.
And his teams have not changed. And he admitted it. They play the same ever since he's been at Pensacola. And we recruited a kid named Chris King that he had there when I was coaching here at UTA, and very impressed with his ball clubs. He's in the Hall of Fame in junior college in Florida, the Hall of Fame junior college.
He's approaching 500 wins in his career. Hervey drives in. Left-hand floater, bounces all over the rim and falls through.
UTA's going to keep you spread out offensively, and it creates difficulty because Kevin can put the ball on the floor not only and shoot the three.
Hervey's got the first 6 points for UTA. They lead by 4. Bartley, baseline jumper, no good. Hervey with the rebound. Hervey's out here with a purpose tonight. Hamilton going to the basket, takes a tumble, runs into the stanchion, but appears to be okay. And there's Scott Cross. It's been a little rougher ride this year for Scott Cross and the Mavericks.
Yeah, but I've watched him. I've talked to him. He's patient. He's poised, and he's hanging in with these kids. And that the proof is starting these 5 as he has and hasn't changed it up.
Starting to come around. They've won 3 of their last 4 coming in. They're 3-3 in conference play. They were the preseason favorites in the Sun Belt Conference. It hasn't gone as smoothly maybe as it did a year ago, but they're still very much a potential NCAA tournament team.
Well, there's no doubt about that. And you got to understand, in the Sun Belt, the first 4 teams get a bye in the conference tournament, and that's one less game you have to play.
Wilson's got the steal, some one-touch passing. Hervey ends up with it, finds Neal open for three. And Neal wide open. Buries the three-point attempt that gives UTA a 10-2 lead over the Ragin' Cajuns. Mavericks are red hot, shooting 67% to start the game. Bartley straightaway three, no good. Hamilton pulls down the rebound. Hervey fouled in the corner. Marchetti commits the foul. Marchetti commits his first personal foul, second team foul.
Marchetti's a transfer from USC, that is Southern California. And he had 17 points against Coastal, but you know, Pete, UTA's, their transition, that's what Bobby was afraid of. If you let UTA get in transition, you're in trouble.
UTA now on a 7-0 run. Hervey's got 3 free throws. He's made the first 2. Hervey's been a 74% free throw shooter this season. Nailed all 3 of them. UT Arlington with a 13-2 lead over Louisiana Lafayette. Entry pass and laying it up and in for Louisiana is Bryce Washington.
If any of the players that Louisiana started tonight, Bryce Washington was the player they were most concerned with.
Wilson works through traffic, finds an open Hervey for 3, and that's good. Hervey has reeled off 12 points and is 4 of 5 from the field, and we haven't played 5 minutes.
Very simple. He had a pass fake that got him wide open because the defense adjusted and it left him wide open on just that pass fake.
Gant misses the three-pointer. Hawkins has the rebound. Neal flips it over to Wilson, sets the screen. Wilson drives in. That's goaltending. Jakina.
They got to stop the transition game, which they have not, but we never know. But UTA's got to rebound the ball, which they have defensively, which creates their transition. And Greg Young says no bullying. They don't want Louisiana. They don't want Louisiana to shove them off their offense, and so he called it no bullying.
I don't want you to bully me during the broadcast either. That's kind of been your repertoire.
Yeah, I'm not that tough.
Bryce Washington is headed to the free throw line. Washington already with 2 points and 2 rebounds, hits the free throw.
4th in the NCAA in career rebounds with 900. And Bob knows that when the season's over with, he'll be the career leading rebounder at Louisiana.
Led the conference last year in rebounding. Will probably do so again this year. Missed a free throw. UTA's hit their last 5 shots from the field, and they lead 18-5. Hervey's been a big part of it. He's double-teamed. Trying to get it to Hawkins, taken away. Washington takes it away for the Ragin' Cajuns. Gets it back, missed the layup. Hamilton can control the rebound. Coming away with it is Justin Miller. There's a foul called. Miller ends up on the seat of his pants. Hamilton picking up his first personal foul. It's the second team foul on the Mavericks. Well, Bob Marlin not happy about something. He's in his 8th year with the Ragin' Cajuns. Stroman will inbound. Stroman, a 6'2 junior from Columbia, South Carolina. Trapped under the basket, finds Miller. Miller got his own rebound. Then the shot blocked by Hamilton. Out of bounds near the end of the UTA bench. 15 seconds on the shot clock.
UTA does a great – if you get the ball in the wing, they are absolutely going to force you to those big guys toward the baseline. They're not worried if you drive the baseline. They're not worried about that because they got a 7-footer and a 6'8" just sitting there waiting on you. So they just funnel everything to those guys, Johnny and Kevin.
Louisiana's made just one of their last 8 shots, and there's another block for the 7-footer, Hamilton. Stroman inbounding. Turned over to UT Arlington. Called the foul on Bryce Washington.
Owen Short had an illegal screen trying to get Frank Bartley open, and Owen Short had it.
Louisiana atop the Sun Belt Conference standings at 5-0, 15-3 overall. UT Arlington trying to work their way into that top 4, as Robert was talking about earlier.
Yeah, this home court's huge.
Wilson lost the handle. It's going to stay with the Mavericks.
Bob Marlin told me he felt like that when UTA beat him here a year and a half ago, beat Louisiana, it got UTA's whole program started. And he had it written on the blackboard and there on the dry erase board to show his team before the game started.
Hawkins can't hit the 3 as the shot clock horn sounds. Miller grabs the rebound. Gets it to Bartley. Washington up strong, but guess who's there? Hamilton defensively. Neal for 3. That's short. The outlet to Stroman, who lost the handle, getting the outlet from Washington, and Wilson controls it for UTA. Hervey comes up short. Stroman with the outlet to Bartley, and a foul called.
That's Kevin Hervey's fault for not hustling back. He was the first person down on defense, and then here he is right there, and he lets Bartley get in front of him where he could have cut him off right there, and Kevin knows better. And I know Kevin well enough. He knows better. And in fact, I think he's coming out of the game for this. But I support Scott for that because they have to defend their basket, especially in transition when Louisiana's taking it to the floor. So, no, it's Johnny's going to take that. Well, my thought on that, I thought that'd be Kevin, but Kevin did not hustle back on defense there.
This is Frank Bartley, the 4th, at the free throw line. The free throw is good for the Ragin' Cajuns' leading scorer with over 16 points a game. He's been an 82% free throw shooter this season. Bryant into the game, handling the basketball, getting it to Neal. Neal with a scoop shot that wouldn't go. And a foul called.
This has been a concern for Scott when they've created a big lead. What do they do offensively? Do they maintain their patience and maintain moving the basketball and reversing it? In the last 2 or 3 possessions, they have not.
Link Kabadunde, who came into the game for Hamilton, called for his first personal foul. He's also a 7-footer. Miller for 3, in and out. Hawkins with the rebound. Hervey for 3. Couldn't get it to go. It'll be Louisiana ball.
See, the last 4 possessions now, UTA has come without points. And obviously in the reverse, Louisiana's 0 for 8 in their last 8 possessions.
They haven't scored a field goal in almost 4 minutes. Miller not able to end the drought. Bartley will try from 3, and he nails it. Give some credit to Jonathan Stove, who got that rebound coming off the bench. Hawkins, an offensive foul. Miller held his position. So a timeout on the floor. UTA has cooled off. He'll start receiving updates on all UT Arlington athletics news. Pete Stein and Robert Gill here at College Park Center. Mavericks on top of Louisiana 18-10. Louisiana undefeated in the Sun Belt Conference. A 5-game winning streak. A three-pointer is good for Cedric Russell. The freshman from Alexandria has come into the game and immediately hits a three.
In his first 3 games that he played in, he was 15 of 22 from the three. So he'll be reckoned with as long as he's in the game.
These are 2 good three-point shooting teams. Bartley scoops this up and gets the easiest 2 points he'll have all season.
This has been, I'm being redundant, but this has been my concern with UTA offensively all year. They build a lead. You've got to continue your patience if you don't have numbers in transition. Get a good shot.
They led by as many as 14, but that lead has been cut to 3. And Kabayunde is fouled.
And here's another thing. I mean, Pete, you know this. Bobby Marlin's teams aren't going to lay down. They're winning the conference. So,
and they're scoring 85 points a game, so being down early is not going to intimidate them.
Exactly, and I keep watching Bobby during the ball game when this was going on, and he hadn't even showed any emotion. So he knows where they are, and he knows what kind of ball club he has.
They had an 11-0 run until Kabayunde hit that free throw, misses the second. Louisiana has hit their last 3. Ball is lost by Russell. Neal with a hesitation move. The three-pointer is good for Davian Turner. The 6'9 junior from Cedar Hill hits the three-pointer.
Nickname is Sticks.
Well, he sticks that 3, and the lead is back to 7. Miller with a head fake. Gets the roll. Miller gets his first 2 points after missing his first 4 shots. We've entered the second quarter of this game with just over 9 minutes to play, and Neal is fouled. The foul committed by Jonathan Stove, the 6'4 guard, who's been averaging over 10 points a game. Both teams have 4 players averaging double figures.
Jonathan Stove is wearing number 30 this year in honor of his grandfather, which I thought when I was prepping that's a really neat deal. Changed his number from 21 to 30.
I believe his grandfather passed away on April 30th.
Yes, I believe that's correct.
And he's wearing number 30. Free throw good for Neal.
I thought Stowe had 10 points in 16 minutes against Monroe. So both these teams have great benches.
You don't score a lot of points if you don't get contributions from your bench, and these are the 2 highest scoring teams in the Sun Belt.
That is, you are so right.
This is a long three-pointer, and it's no good for Russell. We'll go to the other end of the floor.
No, I don't think so. That's just the 16th foul, Pete. Next time.
Nope, you're right.
Next time. 17 fouls in the men.
Mavericks will have to go the length of the floor. Marcus Stroman returning to the game. The 6'2 junior started. On the floor was Stove, Marchetti, Gant, and Russell.
Stroman has 93 assists for the year. That's awfully good.
Here's another guy who can dish him out. Neal, averaging more than 8 assists per game. among the nation's leaders. Tried to hook a pass over to Turner. Out of bounds in the corner. Last touch by Washington.
I think Eric wanted Davion to get to the bucket on the pick and roll. And he kind of stepped out off the screen. I don't think Eric wanted that, but they get a new clock out of this, so they call possession on Louisiana.
Hawkins lobs it into Hamilton, who's returned to the game. It's Kabayundi's gone back to the bench. Neal with a three-pointer. That's no good. Russell has it for the Raging Cajuns. Marchetti for three. Rebounded by Hamilton. Leads Wilson. Hawkins with a floater. Washington grabs yet another rebound.
Had a mismatch inside with Johnny and Stroman guarding Johnny on the inside. I just don't think they recognized it.
Washington already with 6 rebounds in this game for the Raging Cajuns. If you're going to rank teams by mascots, Raging Cajuns has got to be near the top. Foul called. Marcus Stroman driving to the basket when the whistle sounded. UTA led by 14 in the first 5 minutes. They're still up by 7. Athletes in their pursuit of championships. Grab seats to Maverick Speaker Series, concerts, and a whole lot more. Visit UTAtickets.com today. Louisiana with the ball, trailing by 7. A three-pointer will narrow that deficit as Russell hits it from the left side. Cedric Russell now with 6 points, 2 of 3 from beyond the arc. It's a 4-point lead for the Mavericks. Neal feeds Hamilton. Hamilton was fouled. And they call the foul on Stroman. Stroman picks up his first personal foul. That's the 7th team foul. Puts Hamilton at the free throw line, and the 7-footer misfires. Not a bad free throw shooter, 67%. Mavericks is a team, 66% at the foul line this season.
I'd kind of like to see Nathan Hawkins or Kalen Wilson from the wing positions take a little slack up here offensively, whether it be an offensive rebound or steal on defense. They need to get involved a little bit offensively.
Louisiana trailing by 5, but they've hit 5 of their last 7 shots from the field. Russell with another straightaway 3. That one's no good. Hervey's got the rebound and begins the fast break. DJ Bryant, did he step out of bounds?
Called travel, I think. Keith Kimball called a travel on him. He did get in a little hurry there. DJ Bryant, he's going to make a hand for UTA as the future brings it, and that's Reggie Brown's nephew, who Reggie played for us here at UTA, and I had the great privilege and honor of signing him. Reggie's a local guy from Sam Houston High School here in Arlington.
DJ comes from Sarasota, but obviously familiar with the program. Foul's going to be on Justin Miller. No, they called that on. They called that on Stroman.
Yeah, they did. It was an illegal screen here on the right wing.
It's his second personal foul. Hervey out high. Good three-point shooter. Loses it here. It's off Miller, I believe. Miller dives trying to save it. It'll belong to the Mavericks with 11 seconds on the shot clock. Inbounding in the back court. Neal's going to come in for Bryant.
Probably look for Eric to try to get to the basket as quick as he can from this spot.
As quick as he can. It's pretty fast.
And he can run.
Finds Wilson. The three-pointer no good. And it's picked out of the air by Marchetti. Marchetti turns it over to Wilson. Bounce pass to Hawkins. Hamilton with a two-hand slam, assisted by Hawkins.
Great job on Nathan's part, but on the pass, but you can't beat Johnny Hamilton running the floor like he does. It's amazing.
Gant hits a three-pointer. It's his first 3 points of the game. He was 0 for 3 from beyond the arc before he hit that one. UTA up by 4. Hervey feeds it down low, and Hamilton scores. Hamilton now with 6 points.
Johnny at Arkansas State had 19 points and 8 rebounds to lead the Mavericks there in that victory.
Hervey got his second assist. Traveling called here, giving the ball to the Mavericks with 5:07 to play. UTA leading by 6. Davian Turner's back into the game for UTA.
Both teams going to play a lot of players tonight, 10, 11. They're going to play a lot of players.
Wilson travels. That's 6 turnovers for UT Arlington. The Raging Cajuns have turned it over 9 times. That's led to 12 points for the Mavericks. Louisiana Lafayette has 7 points off the 6 UTA turnovers. Three-pointer for Gant, nothing but net. Gant now with 6 points.
He's averaging 15 points a game, so he is part of their offense.
Hamilton being hassled. Gets it to Neal. And that goes off the leg of Washington.
You know, we're talking about bullying. They had Johnny pushed all the way off that low post spot, off that block, and 15 foot from the basket, and he can't operate with his back to the basket from 15 foot.
There's some kind of plastic on the floor. I don't know what happened over there.
Don't know.
If it might have been like the top to a water bottle or something that got stepped on.
Yeah.
It looks like there must have been some spillage over there as well. Neal receiving the inbounds pass. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Straightaway 3. That's on target. Neal with 8 points. He's 2 of 5 from beyond the arc. Gant with the head fake. Nice drive. The tip-in is no good. Finally putting it in, Bryce Washington. He and Jonathan Stove were both there trying to get that tip in. Eventually Washington got it.
Yeah, that was all created when Johnny on the closeout from the basket jumped on the shot fake, and it created all that rebounds for Louisiana because it put Johnny out of position.
Hervey double team. Loses the ball. Stroman feeds Washington for an easy layup. 5 points for Washington. It's a 2-point game. UTA raced out to an early 14-point lead. but it's 32-30 with 2:50 to play in the half. Hervey with a finger roll for two. An open three, but misfiring is Bartley. Turner for three, no good. Last touch by Wilson, out of bounds. It belongs to Louisiana with 2:27 to play. Bartley has 9 points to lead the way for the Ragin' Cajuns.
Louisiana with 7 offensive rebounds, which has kept them in the ball game, actually.
The lob for Gant, who goes back door but can't finish. Hervey has it for the Mavericks. Wilson earns a trip to the free throw line. Foul is going to be called on Stroman. That's already 3 on Stroman now. Here's another look.
His left foot heel was on the arc, and that is the rule. And so it was a great call by Owen Short. Definitely in the arc.
Wilson hits the free throw. It's his 3rd point of the game.
Credit Louisiana, though, for stepping in and trying to take that charge. That's a Bobby Marlin team. They're going to take the charge when you're coming through the paint.
Wilson, a 64% free throw shooter, misses the second one. And pulling down the rebound is Bryce Washington. That's 8 rebounds for Washington. Stroman with the drive. He'll go to the free throw line. Neal picks up his first personal foul. Just taking a blind swipe at the ball there.
Yeah, and just no. Same thing we talk about Louisiana. UTA had an opportunity to step in front, taking the charge, and they chose to try to block the shot. Louisiana draws the foul.
Stroman, a 79% free throw shooter, scores his first point of the game. Cuts the deficit to 4 for the Ragin' Cajuns. A minute 45 remaining in the first half. Substitutions, Marchetti, who started, the 6'6 junior, is coming back into the game. And also entering the game now is Lawrence Stallcup, the 6'11", 240-pound senior from Colorado Springs. Wilson had a defender on his hip, and Marchetti gets called for the foul. Marchetti's second personal foul. 10th team foul. Wilson at the free throw line.
Stallcup that came in the ball game went to Snow Junior College in Utah, who consistently has a very good men's program.
Appropriately named school in Utah.
That is pretty good, isn't it? I think the town's Snow, Utah. I might be wrong about that.
Wilson hits the free throw. 37-32 now. Minute 30 remaining. Stroman brings it up for Louisiana. Gant trying to go down low to Miller. Stolen by Neal. He averages more than 2 steals a game. He's got 4 tonight. Wilson's three-pointer is good.
That was efficient offense. 3 passes, feet set, ready to shoot the ball, ready to catch it, and great job on Kalen Spark.
Stroman throws it to the corner. Bartley can't corral it, and it belongs to UTA. UTA's hit 5 of their last 6 shots. They have a chance to extend an 8-point lead with 56 seconds to play.
You know, Pete,
Neal will walk it up. Knocked out of Neal's hands by Bartley. With 26 seconds on the shot clock, it stays with UTA. Turner inbounding. Neal at the point. Bounce pass to Hervey. Little dipsy doodle move toward the basket, draws the foul.
If you don't guard the pick and roll, especially with Eric and Kevin involved on the pick and roll, you have to guard it. You have to get over the top of the screen, because if you go behind it, then Eric's going to back off and shoot the three. So it creates huge problems if that screen and that ball handler is not guarded properly.
If you're not guarding the pick and roll against Neal and Hervey, you haven't done your homework.
No, amen.
Free throw's good. UTA leads 41-32. 15 first half points for Hervey. Bartley can't hit the three-pointer. Foul under the basket. Justin Miller picks up his first personal foul. Hervey going to the free throw line. 74% free throw shooter for the season. He's 4 of 5 at the line tonight. This one's no good.
Rebounds, free throws, and turnovers. Things we don't talk about is what wins ball games.
Hervey hits the second free throw. .23 seconds remaining in the half. The shot clock is off. Raging Cajuns are trailing by 10. They've been down by as much as 14. Away for the Raging Cajuns with 9 points. Washington with 8 rebounds. Inbounded to Russell, guarded by DJ Bryant. Gant to Stove. Steal, DJ Bryant. Gets 2 points on the other end. We've come to halftime in Arlington.
Starting out because their confidence. They had that last shot there. The second half didn't get it. UTA lays the ball up. So Bobby's got to get them rolling here. This possession right here is huge. First 3-4 minutes for Louisiana is huge.
Marchetti, Bartley, Gant, Washington, and Stroman, the original starting 5 on the floor for the Raging Cajuns. They go down low to Stroman, who's double-teamed. Neal nearly had another steal. Instead, it's an open 3 for Marchetti, but he can't get it to go down, and Neal has the rebound. Outlet to Hervey. Foul line floater is good for Hervey. Not the start the Raging Cajuns were looking for.
No, that's not what Bob wanted, and that was a huge possession. And with UTA blocking out, getting the defensive rebound, which they had to do tonight, that just got their transition going.
This time Bartley hits the shot from beyond the arc. And Louisiana stays within shouting distance, trailing 46-35.
This is the huge key for UTA, is it's offense efficiency right there, and what kind of good shots they're going to take, how many times they're going to move the ball, get people open.
Hervey for 3. Couldn't get the bounce. Gant's got the rebound. Stroman pushes it all the way to the basket and draws the foul.
See, I don't that possession that UTA just had, I don't think Scott, although, Kevin got defended very well there, that's not a good shot. It's just not a good shot.
And it leads us to our keys to the second half. You want UTA to maintain offensive efficiency.
Yeah, make an extra pass. Throw the ball inside. And I understand that Kevin's hard to guard. Get that. Perfectly get that. But there are times he's got to be smart enough to give the ball up. And then Louisiana has to rebound the basketball on both ends of the floor.
They're out rebounding the Mavericks 21-15. They each have 14 defensive rebounds. Raging Cajuns have 7 offensive rebounds, just 1 for UTA. Now, some of that is because UTA is making a lot of shots.
That is correct.
46-36 after the free throws. Stroman 3 of 4 from the free throw line. Neal guarded by Bartley. Neal tried to sell that it was off Bartley, but it's turned over to Louisiana.
It's just 2 possessions in a row, no good shots. And you can't do that against Louisiana. That's why they're leading the conference. They're going to do what they're supposed to do to try to win this ball game. So UTA efficiently, offensively, and I know we've talked about it, they've got to get better shots.
Bartley has a chance at a 4-point play. Neal gets called for the foul. It's his second personal foul. That's a 4-point play for Bartley. He's got 16 points. He came into the game averaging 16 per game. Neal at the point with 12 seconds on the shot clock. Wilson ends up on the floor and a foul called. They call the foul on Bryce Washington. It's his second personal foul, first team foul. Neal inbounding to Hawkins. Hawkins with a nice wraparound dribble, and he cashes in at the hoop.
Nathan needed that just to get himself involved in this ball game.
Hervey's got a steal, missed the initial shot, but a second chance, and he has given UTA a 10-point lead, 50-40. Three-pointer on the way for Marchetti. No good. Way short. Hamilton got the rebound. Neal with a long pass to Hamilton. Intercepted. Gets picked off by Washington, and here comes Marchetti. Jump stop and throws it out to Stroman. Stroman drives in on Hawkins. And they're going to call the foul on Hawkins. Hawkins picks up his third personal foul. That's also the third team foul. Stroman goes to the free throw line. Raging Cajuns, 7 of 9 at the free throw line, as Stroman misses this opportunity. And they need to cash in at the foul line.
Yeah, if they're going to take the ball to the hole and draw fouls and get back in this ball game, they have to make free throws, Pete. You're exactly right.
Stroman missed them both, and Hamilton got the rebound. Stroman had been a 79% free throw shooter coming into the game. Neal finds Wilson wide open for three. Can't get it to go. Gantz got the rebound, the outlet to Stroman. The layup is good. Raging Cajuns hanging in there, down by 8, 50-42.
They are not going to die, Pete. I've watched Bob Marlin's teams forever, and they are not going to lay down.
Ball stays with the Mavericks with 14 seconds on the shot clock. Timeout on the floor, 15:49 to play. UTA with a 50-42 lead. Hervey already with 20 points tonight to lead the way for the Mavericks. Neal guarded by Bartley. That's a nice drive, but he couldn't finish at the rim. Blocking foul. Is that Hawkins again?
I believe it is.
That's his fourth. Puts Bartley at the free throw line.
Couldn't really tell on the replay from that angle, but Keith Kimball, who officiates in the Southeast Conference, Big 12, he's right on it.
Bartley now with 17, hitting all 4 of his free throws. Been an 82% free throw shooter this season.
He's a transfer from Brigham Young. He's 9 points from career. I guess he has gone over the 1,000 points tonight. Is that his 1,000 points career? I believe so.
For the Raging Cajuns?
Yeah, I believe that's right.
Or I think it's
career
combined,
points.
isn't it?
Yes.
Career points.
Yes.
Hervey backing in. Spin move. Missed the shot. Karam's out to Bryant. Neal for 3. Way short. I don't know why they rushed it, Coach.
No, I don't. And with the defender on, you're contested, and then Louisiana just takes the length of the floor and lays it up.
Stroman drives in, and all of a sudden this is a 4-point game. And 3. UTA has missed their last 5 shots from the field, 1 of 7. They haven't scored in nearly 2.5 minutes as Bryant brings it into the front court.
Yeah, this half, Louisiana is shooting 60% from the field. UTA shooting 37% from the field.
Still 15 seconds on the shot clock. Wilson pitches to Hamilton, baseline jumper in and out. It gets tapped out to Stroman. There's a 12-point lead at the half. Wild three-pointer. Bartley chases down his own rebound. Louisiana outscoring the Mavericks 14-6 in the second half. And this is a three-pointer for Gant. No good from the corner. Washington got the rebound out to Bartley. Bartley with 18 points to lead the Raging Cajuns.
You know, Louisiana's patience right here also keeps the ball out of UTA's hands also.
Stroman blocked by Hamilton, but first a foul. Neal gets called for the foul. That's his third. His third, Hawkins with 4, so they're the 2 players in the most foul trouble. Stroman has 3 for the Raging Cajuns. And it's Stroman at the free throw line here looking for his 8th point. He's just 3 of 6 at the foul line. Hits this one. Kabayundi coming back into the game for UTA, replacing Hamilton. Pretty nice when you can replace a 7-footer with a 7-footer.
It's a luxury, all right. It's definitely that.
Stroman hits both free throws. All of a sudden, this is a 2-point game. UTA on top, 50-48. Bryant for 3. Washington got the rebound. That's 10 rebounds for Washington.
Yeah, Louisiana just invited BJ to shoot that.
Gann hits the three-pointer from the corner, and the Raging Cajuns, who were down 12 at the halftime, lead by 1, 51-50, outscoring UTA 19-6 here in the second half.
Louisiana has not changed their attack whatsoever, and their patience and offense have kept them and got them the lead, actually.
Hervey has the ball slapped out of his hand, but sounded like there might have been some skin there as well. Bartley gets called for his third personal foul. It's only the second team foul on Louisiana. Irving inbounds for the Mavericks.
Coach Sutton at Oklahoma State told me in just conference with him, just talking to him, that the first 5 minutes of the second half is huge, especially if you're down like Louisiana was. And they've just been patient, keeping the ball from UTA, forcing UTA to take bad shots.
Yeah, UTA hasn't scored now in nearly 5 minutes. Stroman picks up his fourth, the offensive foul.
Yeah, that obviously that was a foul, but did that match this game? I'm not sure by what all's been going on in this game. Was that a foul? Yes, but could that referee could have passed on that? Owen Short could have passed on that, maybe. I think so.
It's an 11-0 run for the Raging Cajuns. Shot clock down to 10 seconds. Neal cut off on the baseline. Bryant, three, no good. Washington with another rebound. He led the conference last year in rebounds, and he's going to do it again this year.
Also has 1,155 points career.
Stove turned it over. Wilson drives in, and they're going to call an offensive foul.
Yes.
Charging is the call. UT Arlington up 44-32 at halftime with 11 shots. And the Raging Cajuns on top 51-50 with the ball. Stove at the point. Bartley gives to Stroman, back to Stove. Bartley for three, no good. Hervey's got the rebound. His 8th rebound of the game. Turner back out to Neal. Turner to Wilson. Throws it away. I don't think he and DJ Bryant were on the same page.
Yeah.
That's the 4th turnover for Wilson. Now they already posted it, so that's his 3rd turnover. These guys are fast. This is Russell to Bartley. Driving in with the left hand, lost the handle. But with 11 seconds on the shot clock, Louisiana will inbound it.
With 11 seconds now, you have to be aware of Louisiana in this out-of-bounds play. Really have to guard, see the ball. Don't get your back turned on your man.
Five seconds on the shot clock. Foul called.
Off illegal screen on 32.
That's Bryce Washington, and that's his 3rd. Still an 11-0 run for Louisiana. UT Arlington's missed 9 in a row from the field. Brian Neal, Wilson, Hervey, and Turner, the 5 on the floor for UTA. Hervey Tipped up by Turner. Foul on the floor. Russell picks up his first personal. That's the 5th team foul on Louisiana. Neal inbounding for UTA. Looking for Hervey. Stove was there to slap it away. Stove commits the foul. His 3rd personal foul, 6th team foul.
Both ends here with 10 minutes to go will both be in bonus on next foul for either team.
Neal to Bryant. A head fake, hands it back to Neal. Wilson drives in, missed wide left. Washington's got the rebound, his 12th of the game. And he goes coast to coast, but he missed the layup. Stove saves it, throws it out to Neal. Bounce pass to Wilson. He's fouled by Russell. So we're into the 4th quarter of this game. Louisiana on top 51-50. Just over 9.5 minutes to play.
Good pass by Eric on the fast break and transition. And it's when they get in half court, it's my concern. And they know this. Make the extra pass and get a good shot and kill some time just like Louisiana is. Louisiana's going to run offense not only to get a good shot, but to keep the ball from UTA.
UT Arlington struggling. They are 3 of 16 from the field this half, 0 of 6 from three-point range, and that was their first free throw attempt of the second half, and they missed it. They've missed 2 free throws. Hervey got the rebound and went out of bounds. Crowd's getting restless here in Arlington. They were pretty happy about a half hour ago. Louisiana hasn't scored in over 3.5 minutes, leading 51-50. Miller has his shot blocked. Sticks Turner is there.
Great job by Sticks staying on the floor, getting his hand straight up, and then timing that block perfectly. That was really good defense.
10 seconds on the shot clock. Wilson on Stove. Miller banks it in. Did he call bank?
No, he did not. And he tried to draw the foul. I thought it was a great no call by Brent Dugan because offense created the
Hervey
contact.
ends the long drought. It had been a 13-0 run for Louisiana. UTA had missed 11 straight field goals. Hervey scores to make it a 1-point game. Louisiana on top 53-52. Miller blocked by Hervey. Bryant to Wilson. Cross court to Neal for 3. In and out, no good. Miller with the rebound for Louisiana. Stroman will walk it up for the Raging Cajuns. Louisiana outscoring UTA in the second half now 21-8. Crowd wanted a travel called. Hervey diving on the floor, knocking the ball away. Instagram and like UTA's Facebook page, UT Arlington Athletics, and begin receiving updates on all UT Arlington Athletics news. Stove had no time. They had only 1 second on the shot clock. He heaved it up, but it's a shot clock violation, and UTA has the ball. They've only made one of their last 13 shots.
And their perimeter guard play is 6 of 22. And the team play this half is 22%. They've got to create offense.
Hervey backing in, shoots over Stove, who got a piece of it. Miller picks it out of the air. Russell brings it up. Stowe for three. Neal bats the rebound. Miller scores.
Great pass off the rebound by Bryce Washington. Really, really alert on that rebound and just dishing it down.
Wilson with a strong drive, but shot wildly, and Miller has it for the Ragin' Cajuns. 3-point lead for Louisiana Lafayette, their largest lead. Foul's going to be called on DJ Bryant.
I don't know if you noticed, Pete, but when UTA gets the ball into the paint, Louisiana doesn't leave their feet. They stay on their feet, they get their hands straight up, and they just challenge you from that position there. So there's no foul for the most part, and it's creating UTA taking bad shots even in the paint.
And UTA went to the free throw line 20 times in the first half, only one free throw in the second half.
Correct.
This is Russell at the free throw line for Louisiana. They're 7 of 10 at the free throw line. Hamilton pulls down the rebound, and then Miller takes it away. Feeds Bartley for an easy layup. Bartley's got 20 points now for the Ragin' Cajuns. Long distance shot for Hervey is no good.
Louisiana did a great job with Eric coming off of Kevin's screen, and they trapped Eric off the screen, which created that bad shot. And really good job of Louisiana just stepping out and trapping Eric.
This is an 18-2 run for the Ragin' Cajuns. Helped out by the fact that the Mavericks have missed 8 shots from three-point range and haven't hit a three-pointer here in the second half. Stowe with an easy layup. Both teams now with 22 points in the paint.
Louisiana just doing a fabulous job of killing clock, being patient on offense, and running their stuff.
Neal for three, that's good. It had been 3 minutes since UT Arlington last scored. They needed that three-pointer. They're still down by 5. Stowe's wide open for a slam dunk. Mavericks down 7, 62-55. Neal drives in, his floater, no good. Miller has the rebound, poked away by Neal. Turner goes on the floor to get the loose ball. Hervey takes a three-pointer that's good. Hervey's got 25 points now.
Louisiana's going to continue to run their stuff. UTA must protect the basket.
Right now, UTA doesn't have either one of their 7-footers in the game. Neal's got another steal. Hervey picks it up, gets it to Wilson. Fires it to the corner. The three-pointer is no good for Turner. Hervey with the rebound, couldn't get the putback. Russell has it for Louisiana. Three-pointer on the way, in and out. Turner's got the rebound. That was a little impatient on Louisiana's part.
Yeah, and
Wilson drives in but can't finish at the rim. And Washington pulls down the rebound, his 14th of the game.
I watched Bobby Marlin look at Russell and just kind of nod his head like, hey, that's a good.
58. We're down to the final, 3:46. Things certainly turned around in the second half. UTA was on top 44-32 at the break. Stroman at the point. Guarded by Turner. Drives in. Floats one through. Nice touch by Stroman. Stroman's got 11 points. Neal for three. Not able to dial it in from long range. Neal's now 3 of 10 from beyond the arc. He's got 11 points tonight. Meanwhile, UTA continues to struggle from the field overall, shooting just 21% here in the second half, including 2 of 12 from three-point range. Miller with a layup. He's got 8 points. Wilson can't finish, but gets his own rebound for the Mavericks and scores with a second chance. Wilson now with 10 points. It's 66-60, Louisiana on top with 2:42, UTA 19-6.
And we talked about that before the game started, what the bench was going to be like for both teams.
Yeah, a little surprising that UTA hasn't gotten more from their bench. Louisiana's hit 6 of their last 7. Bounce pass down low to Washington. There's another easy 2 points, and that's 9 for Washington, who also has 15 rebounds. Neal drives the baseline. Finds Turner. There's Wilson. The shot is short. And grabbing hold of the basketball for Louisiana is Bartley. He's their leading scorer with 20 points tonight. The foul on Neal. He's got 4 now. That's 8 team fouls. Bartley's 5 of 5 at the free throw line tonight. He's been an 82% free throw shooter this season. Louisiana completely turned things around in the second half.
Yeah, they didn't get away from their plan. They didn't get away from their offense. They kept running it, and started keeping UTA off the board. UTA offensively didn't take good shots, didn't make some shots, and Louisiana kept UTA from getting second shots, and that's been the key.
We mentioned the 2 highest scoring teams in the Sun Belt Conference battling it out here, but UTA's been held to 16 second half points. Bartley adding to his total. Perfect at the free throw line, 7 for 7. He's got 22 points. Neal zigzagging into the paint, kicks it out to Wilson. Stepped out of bounds on the baseline.
You know, talking about Louisiana has allowed 20 points or below in the first 20 minutes 4 times this year. And obviously that's reversed tonight.
UTA 43-28. You talk about blocking out. Louisiana has the ball. They break full court pressure. Stroman throws it back out to Stove. Bartley, that's a 5-second count. Returning to the game now for UTA is Hawkins. Nathan Hawkins made his 20th start tonight. Hervey for 3. No good. Tipped in. That's an own goal, isn't it?
Yeah, that was tipped in by Louisiana, actually. It looked like to me. I don't know who they're going to give that basket to.
UT Arlington's going to take all the help they can get. That's the only field goal they have in their last 8 attempts. 70-62, Louisiana on top. Hamilton called for the foul. Miller's at the free throw line. Did I see him signal an intentional foul? Miller will shoot the free throw. It's good. Miller with 8 points. That was his first free throw attempt of the game. Miller's been a 77% free throw shooter. Hits these 2 free throws after the intentional foul called. Miller now with 10 points. The ball stays with Louisiana after the intentional foul called. Bartley hands it to Stroman. Tightly guarded by Hawkins. Hawkins gets called for the foul, and that'll do it for Hawkins. Nathan Hawkins is fouled out with 2 points on 1 of 4 shooting. Played 22 minutes tonight, had a couple of rebounds. Goes to the bench with the Mavericks trailing Louisiana 72-62. Stroman at the free throw line. We're still a minute 11 away from the finish line, but there's kind of a disheartening feeling here at College Park Center for the Mavericks.
Yeah, the air's out. And pretty good crowd for the Mavericks tonight also for Thursday night. And it's a big game. And still chance here for a couple of threes real quick, maybe a steal on defense.
Neal lines up a three-pointer and hits it. Well, we know that UTA can score quickly. Neal now with 14 points on 4 of 14 shooting. In fact, all of his field goals have been from beyond the arc. Mavericks commit the foul immediately. Wilson is called for the foul. He's now got 4. The bad news is they put Bartley at the free throw line. He hasn't missed tonight from the foul line, and he's a good free throw shooter, 82% this season.
And another factor, Pete, is UTA's out of timeouts. So that plays a huge factor in strategy.
And Louisiana's in the double bonus.
Correct.
Down to the final 59 seconds. Bartley, 9 of 9 at the free throw line, has 24 points tonight for the Raging Cajuns. Neal for 3, way off the mark. Bryant tried to get the steal. Bartley's into the front court, and now Bryant commits the foul. I think Louisiana may have called a timeout first. That's on the first half, they just didn't get there very often. I think they were 5 of 6 at halftime from the foul line. They're making more frequent trips there here in the second half. 14 of 19 at the free throw line in the second half for the Raging Cajuns. Backdoor layup, and Bartley now has 26 points. 20 seconds to go. Mavericks face a 12-point deficit. Wilson spins in. He has struggled to finish throughout the last 20 minutes. And Stroman will just hold it